into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady Rochelle.
Hello, welcome to Warriors Talk, the show that moves you from awareness towards action. I am your host, Lady Rochelle, and tonight I want to have a real, raw conversation about something we don't talk about enough: what happens after survivorship. Many times people celebrate the fact that we have made it through cancer, and yes, it's a blessing, but what happens when you survive and you're still struggling? Struggling for your health, your energy, your body image, your emotions. We feel this pressure to bounce back, to get back our old lives, our old bodies, our old strength. And what happens when that doesn't happen? And we start to wonder, am I doing something wrong? Am I failing at this journey? Tonight, I want to speak life into every survivor who's ever felt like they're falling short, when really you're doing more than enough. We're talking about letting go of unrealistic expectations and giving yourself permission to heal in your own time and finding strength where you are, not where you used to be. So grab your journals, grab your tea, share this live with someone, and join in on the conversation because your healing is your journey and you don't owe anyone, not even yourself, perfection. So let's talk about it. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive F5 with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, Rosal and I discussed Build With Me or Meet Me There. You can find that out on YouTube at Intellectual Radio for any episodes that you may have missed. And the quote of the day is, you don't have to bounce back to where you were. You're becoming where you've always meant to be. I am encouraging you to save the date for Warriors Talk 9th Annual Survivor Celebration of Reflection Gala that's going to be taking place on October the 18th at the Crystal Sky Banquets, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is our biggest event of the year, and we come together to honor cancer survivors, support warriors that are in battle, and we reflect on the strength, hope, and faith that has carried us through this fight. Tickets are going on sale this month, so mark your calendars. You don't want to miss it. You can go to warriorstalk.org for more information. If you are tuned in on any form of social media, you can like the show, share the show, and invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. I'm so grateful for my sponsor. We have Pastor Michael Richardson with the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson. And we're from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Our topic for today is the pressure to bounce back after you survive. This particular topic is so near and dear to my heart, of course, because I am a cancer survivor. So let's just jump right into the conversation on tonight. And first up is surviving is a victory, but thriving is a journey. When you think about surviving cancer or any type of life-altering diagnosis, and you get through whatever treatment that they have set for you, whatever that plan was, once you get there, for those who go through their cancer journey, some of them ring the bell. You know, people celebrate you. Some people throw parties, they throw celebrations, and they're so excited. Some people take trips, and they celebrate because they are called survivors. I know for people who are diagnosed with cancer, you are known as a survivor from the day of diagnosis until the end of your life. So the world celebrates your survivor, but they forget the silent struggle. There is a struggle that comes with surviving. But remember that thriving, right? Thriving is a journey, because when you're thriving, it's not something that is quick. It's not something that's immediate. It's something that for some may look a little different for others. Some may be speeding through it like it's a race, and some may do it like it's a marathon. So however you do it is totally up to you. Don't feel bad. We often battle with these unrealistic expectations when it comes to surviving, right? Because we see what it looks like, because people normally only share the good parts of their journey a lot of time. Oh, I survived cancer. You see them celebrating, you see them on the other side of it. A lot of times you may not see the details of their journey. Some people do share. I was one of those who did not share all of the details of my journey. Like when I never shared my bald head like in person, but you saw it on a picture after the fact, after my hair started growing back. So it just depends on, how you want to do it. But oftentimes we set up these unrealistic expectations because we're trying to please other people, and because of what we see on social media, what people are telling us, and the fact that they're only sharing the good parts. You may not see them in the middle of the night, bawling their eyes out, not able to sleep, not able to eat, but they may wake up that morning, get up, wash their face, brush their teeth, throw a wig on, throw a hat on, and some lipstick or whatever, and they look like $1,000,000, and then you be like, oh wow, that's how I want to be. Yeah, and it's good to be able to do that, but you're not getting all of the story. You're not getting 100% of what's going on. And it may not even be for you to have that until they are ready to share it. But don't set yourself up to fail by looking at social media and looking at people's story when you really don't know the backstory. And then you set yourself up for these unrealistic expectations. Oh, I should be here because that person was diagnosed with cancer in January and it's June and they already got their hair back, their energy back. They already look like their old self. Like, don't do that to yourself. Run your own race. A lot of times you go through and you want your old body back. When you go through a cancer diagnosis, you remember how you were before that diagnosis. You remember the strength that you had. You remember your looks. You may be constantly looking at old pictures of yourself. And even if you have like clothing and you're not able to fit those clothing anymore, maybe you lost weight, maybe you gained weight, and you're just looking at yourself like, wow, I want my old body back. I want to be able to look like that person. To you, that person looks healthy, right? You figure like, oh, that person was healthy. No, that person was actually sick. That person had cancer in their body. That person, I look at my pastor, he had a heart attack. He had to have surgery, open heart surgery, and he said he had these suits in his closet, and before he had the heart attack, he was 20 pounds heavier, and he was keeping these suits in the closet thinking, okay, I'm gonna get back to that. But guess what? That person was 20 pounds heavier and sick and waiting to have a heart attack. So why do I want to go back to that person? You don't want to go back to that. That person is no longer in existence. But there's so much pressure to feel like you want to get back to normal because we feel like that's a normal for us. The way I looked in, it was normal. I was comfortable with it. I didn't have any issues until I was diagnosed. I didn't have any issues until I had the heart attack. And so the pressure to feel like you want to go back to that so-called normal, it weighs heavy on you when you may not ever get back to what you consider what normal is, because now you have to figure out what your new normal is. You may not ever figure out what that new normal is because your body may be going through all type of changes. But there's the pressure to come on, get it together, girl. You should be grateful that you're here. You went through treatment. You're on the other side. So many people died in your situation. You should be in a different place. And it's like, yeah, that's coming from a person who hasn't been through what you've been through. So don't allow them to put those unrealistic expectations on you on where they think that you should be. And don't do it to yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people. A lot of times we look at other people and we compare and we go into this deep depression because we feel like, why can't I be in that situation too? Why I lost all my hair. Now my hair is growing back in spots. It's not even growing back fully. My eyebrows is not growing back. Why is that not growing back? Why am I not getting the weight back that I had before my cancer diagnosis? Why am I not able to have the energy that I had before my diagnosis? And you look at the next person who's out there running marathons, doing all sorts of things energy-wise, and you're like, I don't have the strength to do any of that. And you start comparing yourself, and you start feeling bad, and you start thinking that whatever it is that you are doing is not good enough. I'm going to encourage you, do not compare yourself to anybody else. Everybody's journey is different, and everybody's healing is different. So stop questioning yourself if you're doing enough. If you got up this morning, put some clothes on, and you went to work, or you just got up and fixed yourself some breakfast, you're doing enough. You're doing enough. Don't beat yourself up because you're not where you think you should be. Embrace where you are in the present. Make plans for the future, but embrace where you are and stop questioning, are you doing enough? Healing is a journey, not a destination. It's not somewhere you're going to get to quickly. Some people healing comes about quickly. Sometimes God heals people without having to go through cancer treatment. Sometimes God heals people without them having to even go through a heart attack. Then there are those of us who has to go through the entire journey in order to get their healing on the other side. And notice I never say remission, I always say healed. Because remission means you're waiting for it to pop back up, and we're not doing that. So your healing is a journey. It may take you years to feel like you're normal, to where your mind is not even thinking about how I felt before. This is what I felt like before that happened. When you think about it, you start thinking about all the little things that you probably missed that you were feeling before the diagnosis. There are some symptoms that may have come up that we didn't know were symptoms, but they were there. So healing it's a journey, and treat it as such. It's not somewhere where you get and, oh, I finally arrived at healing. I'm here. I hate to say it, but with a cancer diagnosis, you're always healing. Like you want to be always healing, because cancer is it has so many different dynamics to it, and it's so many different cancer diseases. It's not just one, it's not just two, it's over 200 to 300 different cancers out there. And so when we're talking about, oh, they should have already found a cure, and I agree, but they would have to find a cure for all of them, not just breast cancer. There's different subtypes of breast cancer that they would have to find the treatment for. So it's not a destination. It's not. Normally when you're at your destination, you're like, I made it. that's the end of it. And the destination means that you made it. It's the end of your journey. No, you want to always be on that journey to healing, always doing something to cater to your healing, whether it be, we talk about eating, exercising, keeping your mind stress free, whatever it is that you have to do on a daily basis to make sure that you are healing. And don't put the unrealistic expectations on yourself as you're healing. Learn to give yourself grace, even when your progress is slow, because sometimes healing is slow. Sometimes it's not immediate for some. Learn to give yourself grace as you go through. You go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, your blood work came back good, and everything right now looks good. That's a win for you. Celebrate that win until the next time you go back to the doctor and you have to repeat it. Celebrate that. Don't just be like, oh, okay, that one came back. Well, maybe they missed something. No, don't do that to yourself. But celebrate any little win that you can celebrate when it comes to cancer, because they really don't. When it comes to cancer, they don't consider us survivors really until you have hit that 5-year mark, because cancer is most likely to come back within that 5 years. That's when it's most likely to come back. And so they don't really consider you, I want to say, in remission until you get past that 5 years. Once you get past the 5 years, then they figure cancer is less likely to come back. Now, we know that cancer it comes back for some people after 5 years. But according to research and statistics, it's less likely to come back, so they say, after the 5 years. So they don't really even consider you really cancer-free and remission. They always say no evidence of disease. They never say you cancer-free. They say no evidence of disease. When we did a scan, we saw no evidence of disease, because they cannot declare you cancer-free because they don't know that. Learn how to redefine your own health, your own strength, and success on your own terms. That comes with celebrating the little wins. Create your own plan, your own health plan as it relates to your health. You should not be living and doing the same things, I say this all the time, that you were doing before your diagnosis. There's no way that you should be living the same. Absolutely not. You should take a step back and look at your life. Don't beat yourself up because of the diagnosis, but take a step back and say, okay, what was it that I was doing that may have contributed to this happening? What is it that I can do different? And let me just tell you, you could be doing all the right things as it relates to cancer, and it can still happen. It can still happen. You can do everything that they tell you to do, and it can still happen. Doesn't mean that you can't take control of your health and figure out what it is. How do you feel when you're at your most healthiest state? What is it that you're eating? What is it that you're doing? Are you moving? Like, what is it? Find out what that is and redefine what healthy is for you. Again, we're not comparing ourselves to anybody. Find out what it is and how you operate at your strongest point. What is it that you need to get you there? Is it the Word of God? Is it you meditating? Is it you being around family? Like, what is it that will help you get the strength that you need? And determine what it is that you want to determine is successful for you once you get there. What does that look like? What does it look like? And remember, your healing is yours. Again, it's not measured by anyone else and what anybody else is doing. Because yes, everybody's going to come with all these different things that you should do. Oh, you should do the holistic way. Oh, you should do this. Like they're going to come with so many things that you could do, you should do, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Your healing is yours. And yes, it's okay to get advice and to research and things that have been successful for other people. Yeah, it's okay to do that. But your healing should be in your own hands. And it should not be measured by someone else. Our bodies are different. You can have the same diagnosis as someone else, and the medicine can act totally different in your body than it does in somebody else's. Our makeup could be different, although we have the same diagnosis. So you can't compare yourself. You can't thinking that, oh, my healing should be the same. I should be where this person is too because I've done all the same things. No, don't measure yourself by anyone else's healing but your own. Own your own healing. And it's okay. It's okay if your strength looks different than someone else's. We all have different talents that God has given us, different things that we do that we're good at, and define what your strength is and what it looks like. And it may look different from somebody else's. Their strength may be they're able to share their journey with any and everybody whenever they get a moment. You may not have that strength. Your strength may be, I can share with one person and encourage that one person. And that makes a difference as well. It may look different. Someone may be able to get out there and run a 5K marathon after their cancer diagnosis. You're barely making it up the block. Don't beat yourself up for it. Work towards your strength and where you want to be, and recognize that it may look different from someone else's. Give yourself permission to heal in your own time. Your healing is not on someone else's clock, someone else's timeline. Your healing really is not even on your timeline. It's on God's timeline. But give yourself permission to heal. Know that healing is possible. There's so many people out there that have survived cancer and other life-altering diseases or just life-altering things that happen in our lives. And we have those people to witness to us when we were going through. When I was going through, I looked for survivors. I sought out survivors who have been survivors for years. And I wanted to know their story. I wanted to know what they were doing now. Like I was so just thirsty when it came to that. And I talked to them. And that was just for me. It was comforting for me because I got to see someone in a position of where I was reaching to be. Right now, I'm 12 years out. And I'm encouraging other people like they have encouraged me. So give yourself permission to heal in your own time, and don't allow anybody else to define that for you. Know that you don't have to prove your strength to anyone, not even yourself. Give yourself permission to take a break. Give yourself permission to rest your mind, your body. I remember going through my cancer diagnosis and I was always going. But there was one day where I could not. Going through chemo, your body, it feels like I was hit by an 18-wheeler and trying to just get up and pick yourself up from that after being hit by the truck. Then you're just going to get up after that and go. Like that's how it felt. Like, it zaps your energy. And it's not a fatigue that you can sleep off, because you can't. You just have to wait for that medicine to get out of your system. So you don't have to prove your strength to anyone. Operate in your strength, whatever strength that you have, in your own time. When it comes to bounce back, the culture is really loud, but healing is quiet. We see a lot on Facebook, on social media, as it relates to people bouncing back from different things. But when you're in that healing process, when you're going through in that midnight hour, when you have nobody else to call on, sometimes but the name of Jesus, a lot of times people don't see that. The healing part is the quiet part. The healing part should be just as loud as your comeback. It shouldn't be quiet, because some people need to see it. Some people need to know that what I'm going through right now, this is not uncommon. Like, this is a part of the process. I remember complaining to my doctor about, my skin is so dark, my fingernails, I'm losing my nails, there. And she was just like, that's normal. It's cosmetic. It'll come back. Like, you fussing about something that it'll come back, and you're not the only one that's going through this. But at the time, I didn't care, because I'm like, this me. This is not about anybody else. It's about my journey. But she was like, it'll come back. And did I go run into everybody and say, y'all, my nails is falling off? And no, I kept that to myself. I nursed myself until my nails got back to normal. I had to wear gloves in the house to wash the dishes. I couldn't even do my daughter's hair. Some people expect you to snap back like nothing happened, right? Even though your body and your mind and your spirit is telling you, girl, you just went through some trauma. Going through any type of life-altering diagnosis or experience is a trauma. You walk away sometimes with PTSD. You get triggered by things. People say things, you see things, you get triggered. I get triggered every time I hear that a survivor has passed. And I'm like, Lord, why? Like, come on. Like, we have been fighting this disease for how long? There should be some type of cure. There should be where people are, maybe if the cure is not coming, then it should be a chronic disease where people are able to, like diabetes, they can live, it should be. And some people are living with it as a chronic disease. Some people who are metastatic are living that way. But it's like every time I hear a survivor passes, I get triggered. I get so triggered. Why? Because I'm like, that could have been me. And you start to wonder, like, oh, am I next? Like, what? You get triggered. You do. People look at you and they say, you look fine. The outside may look fine, right? Because the outside looks fine, it doesn't mean that you're feeling fine. It doesn't mean that the inside is healed. Because sometimes we just have to get up, and sometimes people fake it until they make it. And until they get there, until they get to where they need to be. So sometimes you may look fine on the outside, and on the inside, it is a tornado. And it took everything in you to pull yourself together. Put your wig on, put your lipstick on, paint your nails, put some concealer on, and, leave the house. And then you get out there and people are like, girl, you look fine. You look okay. You should be over that. You should. And now you got to go back in the house and break down all over again. Just because people look fine on the outside does not mean that everything is healed on the inside. So many survivors do suffer in silence. So your outer appearance may not match the struggle that you have on the inside. Know that healing does not always come with a deadline. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes people healing may be immediate. God may say, no, I don't want you to go through chemo. I don't want you to go through open heart surgery. So guess what? I'm going to heal you. And then some people don't. Some people, like, was it Paul that had a thorn in his side and he just had to have that thorn until he died? God wasn't removing it. God said, my grace is sufficient for you. So he had to deal with that thorn in his side. He was able to do it for the rest of his life. So sometimes healing does not come with a deadline. With our deadline. Sometimes we have our own deadline. Okay, Lord, I've been going through this cancer diagnosis for how long? By June of this year, I want to be done with everything. I want to be healed. I got some living to do. And he was like, I hear you. I got some more stuff for you to go through. So the treatment may be over, you guys. A lot of times the treatment is over, but now you have to rebuild your health, your peace, and your confidence, and all of that is going to take time. It's not going to be immediate. And don't beat yourself up if it's not. Preserve your peace. Preserve your peace. Ooh, know that there's a difference between being healed and being whole. So you could be healed, but not whole. Cancer, people that go through breast cancer may have scars. They may have lost one breast, two breasts. A lot of times they have surgery and they have parts of their stomach removed or their back removed to put up in their breast area. So there's so many things that may come with that, to where they may not feel, they may be healed because now they got the breast there, their wounds done healed up, but they may not feel whole. There may still be some lingering residue that comes with cancer. So let's tie in scripture when it comes to this subject of the pressure to bounce back after you survive. Jeremiah 17:7-8 said, blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. They are like a tree planted by water. They will not fear heat or worry in the year of a drought, and never fail to bear fruit. So even though you may be going through your life-altering situation, God can make it so he can shield and preserve you through it all. So that even though you're going through that drought, you can still produce. You can still be fruitful. We just have to trust in his timing for your healing, not our timing. Okay, Lord, your will be done. What is it that you want to get out of me going through this traumatic situation? How can I glorify you in my body going through this traumatic situation? What is it that I'm supposed to learn from this situation? Ask him. So even when you feel like things are going slow, your healing is going slow, your energy is slow, your bounce back that you thought you were going to be able to do is slow, you're still bearing fruit. You're still bearing fruit. Whatever little bit that you can do, you're still bearing fruit. So here's a question. Have you ever felt like you was not doing enough, even though you was giving it your all? And I'm sure we've all been there. When you feel like, oh wow, I got up, washed my face, brushed my teeth, went to the grocery store, cooked, and you turn on social media and you see somebody else done got up and painted their whole house, re rearranged the furniture. You like, oh my God, where did this person get the strength? Like I don't have the strength to do that. And you feel like what you have done, you have not done enough. And you beat yourself up because you are looking into somebody else's window. And I encourage you not to do that. I encourage you to look into your own window, figure out what it is that you're doing and what your body can handle at the capacity that you're at. And know that you're doing enough, even though you think that you're not. God is still writing your story. If you're breathing, if you woke up this morning, He's still writing your story. And your bounce back doesn't have to look like someone else's. But the fact that you keep waking up and showing up is enough. There's so many internal battles that survivors face. And one of them is, I might have mentioned this, feeling guilty for being tired, for feeling like you need to rest. Oh girl, I'm not gonna make it today. I know I said I was coming, but I'm not gonna make it. And then they like, girl, you said that last time. Like, girl, you gotta get up and go. You always say you tired, and then you start feeling guilty because you tired. Don't feel guilty for needing to rest, reset, and replenish yourself. Don't feel guilty for that. If you have to say no to a couple of times just so until you feel like you have the strength to deal with people, then do that. Do that. Don't allow people to make you commit to stuff that you know that you're not going to be able to do or you don't have the strength to do. And don't compare yourself to how you was. Girl, you used to get up and go. We used to close this club down, and now, girl, you barely even make it in an hour. Okay. Don't allow people's, again, unrealistic expectations to be put on you. Don't do it. There are some common struggles that survivors face. And a lot of times we don't talk about the sexual health as it relates to cancer survivors. But there are the physical when it comes to it. Like some men may go through prostate cancer, women may go through cervical cancer, and sometimes you may not be able to function the way that you were. There may be surgery, scarring. Sometimes breast cancer puts you through menopause early. There may be pain through intimacy, and you may not even want to do any of that. So you're dealing with these physical changes in your body that you really haven't even embraced yourself. And now you have this partner is like clawing at you. And you like, oh my gosh. Like, did you just see what I went through? Like, give me a break. And all of that plays on your emotions as well. The fear of rejection, low self-esteem, you have these body issues. Oh my God, I got these scarring from when I had the breast surgery, when they had to take the breast from my stomach fat and put it in my breast. And now it may not look or feel like real breast. Oh my God, I don't even have the nipples anymore. I got drawed on tattoos. Like self-esteem, I used to be one weight when I was before my cancer diagnosis. Now I'm like 20 pounds lighter than what I am. My partner may not even find me attractive. Like my energy is low, and me and my partner used to just be able to, go and do things and be adventurous. And now I can't do any of that. So emotionally, you're feeling like it's weighing on you. there's a loss of desire and confidence. You may not even have the desire to do anything. That desire, and it may not have nothing to do with you yourself. It may be what you went through, the medicine that you took, the effect that it has on your body, the lingering effects that it has, the residue that it has on your body. So you're questioning your identity. As a partner, you're feeling like, I'm damaged goods. Like, oh my God, like you may not even want to reveal yourself to your partner. So you, instead of doing that, you turning your partner down. Like, oh no, I don't feel like it. I got a headache, it is that. And the whole time you feeling like it's your damaged goods. This causes a strain on the relationship. It does. So you have to make sure that you are talking to your partner so that they can understand what's going on with you. Because sexual health is a part of your overall health. It affects your confidence, it affects your connection, it affects your self-worth. And ignoring it doesn't mean it's going to go away. Ignoring it means it's going to just deepen that wound. So have open conversations with your partner, express your needs, your feelings, what you're afraid of, where you're at. When in doubt, consult with your healthcare provider and let them know, how can I move forward when I just had, a hysterectomy, or I just had, cervical cancer surgery, or I just had prostate cancer. Like, how can I move forward? When is it safe for me to move forward? There are some counselors out here that you can talk to, some support groups to normalize what intimacy should look like after you have been through a traumatic situation. And now you're surviving. What does that look like? Sometimes you have to redefine your intimacy. And it's not always about sex. It's about closeness, it's about touch, it's about connection. Just know that as a survivor, you're still worth it. You're still desirable. You're still worthy of love and wholeness. And healing doesn't just include the physical, but it includes your heart, your mind, and every part of you, as well as your body. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed the conversation today. Know that you are doing better than you think that you are. Know that God is still writing your story, and that you don't have to bounce back. Just keep showing up. I want to highlight my sponsor, Gloria Dodson with Mary Kay. She's catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. You can contact her by going to marykay.com/GDOTSON, and make sure you tell her that Warriors Talk sent you. Warriors Talk is always looking for guests to share their story of survival. Does not have to be a cancer journey. Just be my special guest and share your story to empower someone else that may be going through and just needs some uplifting and some encouragement and hope. You can email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook. Make sure you grab a copy of my new journal. It's a cancer diagnosis. It's a journal for those who have been diagnosed with cancer. They're going through their journey, they've been through the journey, or you're supporting someone who's going through. A cancer diagnosis changes everything, but it doesn't have to define who you are. The title of my journal is Take Charge of Cancer. It's a guided journal for healing, faith, and empowerment. You can get it on Amazon right now, in paperback as well as Kindle. So make sure that you support Warriors Talk with that and support another survivor who may be going through and they just need a little uplifting. I will leave you guys with these words of wisdom. Surviving is a victory, but thriving is a journey. Give yourself permission to heal at your own pace. Join me next Monday right here at 6 p.m. on Intellectual Radio. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady Rochelle, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets. and Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.